Oh, it comes down on the roof. Welcome back. You are tuned into Radio Azad, where your voice matters, where my voice matters. Every Sunday morning from 10 until noon, we are here together looking at things, all things sports, shining the spotlight brightly on various aspects of the sporting world. We've been talking about cricket, and specifically, it was focused on Team India. We talked about their the on the women's side, the World Cup game going on. Oh, where'd it go? Here we go. All right. So South Africa now is at 95 at a loss of two, needing 204 from 32.3 overs. So we'll keep updating you on the progress of that match. But let's talk about this one. Hey, this has been over for a while, but man, oh man, that series between Bangladesh and West Indies, a series of two completely different teams. The ODI side was dominated. I say dominated even though they won 2-1, a three-match series, but dominated by Bangladesh. It felt like, and it felt like that avalanche was just going to continue into the T20I series. But this is what cricket does. What did Ron Washington used to say? That's how cricket go. No, he didn't used to say that. He said that's how baseball go, but that's how cricket go. We thought that avalanche was going to continue and Bangladesh was just going to bury West Indies in the T20 series, but nope. The three-match T20I series was swept by West Indies 3-0. So that was a revealing series there. And then the English and the New Zealand, same thing. There were a lot of rainouts. The three-match T20I series to start, England won 1-0. Yes, go. Don't get me started on the weather, but 1-0, 1-0. They won, and then the subsequent three ODI match series, New Zealand swept 3-0. So yeah, a lot of different things happening there, right? But somewhere where different things have not happened. Yeah, I think it's closer than people think, but it feels like Pakistan has, I won't say dominated, but Pakistan is clearly the overall better side in this series by what they've done on the field. So in the first test, Pakistan just dominated. They ended up winning by 93 runs, but it felt like it was never in doubt. Pakistan always had it. Their bats did their thing in the first inning when they needed to, scoring 378. And then their bowling did their thing when they needed to in the second inning, holding with a target of 270. South Africa was held to 183, and Pakistan won that one easily. Pakistan lost the second one by 8 wickets, and again, this should feel like a dominating win. And I mean, look, on paper, this is why we play the game, as Boomer likes to say. That's why we play the games. The final score matters, and the final score is South Africa won by 8 wickets. They had a target of only 72 coming into their second inning, which they got at a loss of only 2 wickets. So won by 8 wickets, but really it was buoyed by 150, 160 runs scored by the bottom 4. The bowlers by South Africa making a stand in that first inning after Pakistan had put up a 333 run total. South Africa, when it looked like their top and middle order was in shambles, Pakistan's bowling had just ripped through the South African batting order, and then you had their bowlers make a stand, the bottom 4, and getting them all the way to 404, and that really took the wind out of Pakistan. I'm not trying to excuse. Look, anytime your test side is done for 138 in an innings, there's no excuse for it. But I think that the fact that they just could not get these bowlers out and allowed so many runs, and the fact that you gotta bowl those overs, which means you're tired legs. That goes into on the batting side, and it snowballs, and it snowballed. Pakistan ended up scoring only 138 after giving up that 404, largely buoyed by the bottom of the order, and that was that. So South Africa wins that one, tying the two-test series. Why do you have two-test series? Make it a single, make it a three, make it a five, so that you can. Don't get me started on the weather, but barring weather craziness, you can at least set yourself up for having a result. But here we are, one test each, a tie, 1-1. Pakistan wins the first, South Africa wins the second, and then started the ever important T20I series last Tuesday. We started with that, and actually, at this point, I would like to welcome on the airwaves of Radio Azad my good buddy and a wonderful, wonderful football mind, Patrick Shepard. Shep, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Wear your maroon today.
I am excited. I am pumped, and for a lot of reasons. Probably reasons outside of football. Probably because you've known me for a while, right? You know how I get. I don't do I do very little caffeine. Growing up in Mississippi, sweet tea is a must. Like
Yes.
that's not really caffeine. That's lifeblood. But outside
Yeah.
of that, I try to avoid soda. Have it once in a while with a good steak. I don't do caffeine at all. I hate the taste and smell of coffee. But
You hate the smell of coffee?
yes, I'm in that less than 1% of the population. Yes. So Catherine and sorry, I'm giving away my wife's name. My wife and I chat about this, right? And so she detests the taste of coffee, but she loves the smell. But I am in that less than 1% of the population. I actually dislike the smell of coffee. And I cannot stand it. Like the taste, I tasted it once when I was 14. Kids trying to, oh, everybody else is drinking coffee. Let's try it. I took one sip and almost threw up. And then in my late 20s, early 30s, I was like, all right, it's been a while. I'm a grown up now. Let's try it. Everybody else is drinking this. Took one sip, almost threw up, and that was that. Those are my two forays into tangoing with drugs. I'm calling caffeine a drug, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
that's the hardest
drug in
thing.
the world.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing I've ever tried in my vanilla life. So yes, but you know how I get. When I get lack of sleep, it energizes me. So that's probably why. If you're wondering if I've been doing lines, that's because I'm going on about. I wanted to say three, but I think it's four because we fell back an hour while I was asleep between like 3 a.m.
Oh
and
yeah.
6 a.m. So there's a lot happening, a lot going on. We'll get to all that. Let me finish this conversation. Give me about 1 minute. I'm going to finish up. So Pakistan's T20I series against South Africa is what I was talking about. And that first one, it just got away from Pakistan. Just there's no two ways about it. It just got away from them. South Africa ended up scoring 194, and in a T20I, 194 is always going to be a daunting task with a batting lineup like Pakistan, a team like Pakistan whose strength is bowling, not batting. 195 was always going to be a tall task in 20 overs, and tall task it ended up proving. Pakistan was all done at 139 in 18 overs, not coming close. South Africa wins that by 55 runs, but Pakistan, the T20 heart of a champion. What did Rudy Tomjanovic say? Never discount, never. What was it? Never doubt the heart of a champion.
Oh,
Pakistan,
Rudy T.
Rudy T, and those Hakeem Olajuwon Rockets,
Olajuwon.
man.
Yeah, man, those were some good teams.
Yeah. I wanna talk about after I finish this. I want to talk about. I think back to that. Yeah, people say Michael Jordan retired. That's why Hakeem got those. But man, that playoff run that Hakeem had, especially the '96 one, was just absolutely dominant. The players he went through and how he went through, averaging like 36 and 15 with four and a half blocks, something like that. It was just absolutely dominating stuff. So, yeah, Pakistan dominated South Africa in this second T20, getting them all out at 110 and then chasing it down easily at a loss of only 1 wicket in the 13th over, winning by 9 wickets, 112 to 110. And that momentum kind of carried over into the third T20I that took place yesterday. It was closer. South Africa finished at 139. This was in Lahore, so you expected a little low-scoring match, and Pakistan was able to chase it down on the strength of the comeback from Babar Azam. And Babar Azam, after kind of being down in the dumps for about a year or so, this was a wonderful comeback for him, scoring 67 off of like 38, 39. No, it was a little more, maybe 40 balls. But still, having an excellent strike rate, scoring and guiding the team, more importantly than that, guiding the team to chase it down and chase it down easily. Pakistan wins that. So now the T20 series is done. Pakistan wins that 2-1, and now come the 3-match ODI series. This was a long visit by South Africa of Pakistan between the two tests, these T20, and then the subsequent 3 ODI matches coming up that are going to take place this coming Tuesday the 4th, Thursday the 6th, and then next Saturday. So next Sunday, we're going to be talking all about that. But right now, we've bored Shep enough, or maybe entertained him. Let's bounce it over, shall we? Let's talk. Hold on. Here we go. Are you kidding me? That was that BYU touchdown from a couple of years ago. Last year, 2024. All right, Shep, we are here, and we are here to talk college football. Hey,
all right.
I had promised our listeners that I was gonna, even though I don't wanted to talk about something major that did happen, I wanted to swivel the spotlight over to the baseball diamond at some point before you joined. But hey, you've joined now, so after this break that's coming up in 9 minutes, do you want to touch on that? I hate that the hated Dodgers won, but hey, it happened. We got to talk about it. If you're up for a 5-minute conversation, I'd like to squeeze that in after the break.
Great. Yeah.
All right, we'll do that. So right now, let's focus on college. All right. You're my college guy, man. Was yesterday pretty vanilla compared to what's been going on? I saw Indiana win.
Well, it was vanilla in terms of outcomes, right? Like and what I mean by that is outside of Miami taking a bath against SMU.
I call that.
I think I've talked about Cristobal before.
Yep.
He's a great recruiter. He's not a great game coach. You didn't have too many surprises, right?
Yep.
Georgia, eventually came back and beat Florida, though I think that Florida has a right to be grieved at the officiating. But Georgia wins. Penn State, destroys Ohio State destroys Penn State in the second half. Indiana continue. I will say the way that they're winning. I mean, they're
the best team. I mean, you can't really argue they're the best team in college football right now.
Oh, I could. I think that. So here's the test, and we're going to see it this year before the playoffs. Ohio State's going to play Indiana in the Big Ten title game. Absent Michigan upsetting Ohio State.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay, so I want to go back to what you said. It's the way. It's not just that they keep winning, it's the way they keep winning, right? So is that a function of a softer schedule than Ohio State? Because Ohio State is not dominating and destroying like they are.
Okay, they're both soft schedules.
So right? Is Ohio State sleepwalking then?
No, I mean, Ohio State, they may be putting viewers to sleep. When you watch an Ohio State game this year, there's never any question that Ohio State's going to win the game. Even when it's kind of close for the first couple of quarters, if it is close.
Yeah, 17-14 against Penn State. Yeah.
You look at the field and you're like, there's no way the athletes on Ohio State are going to lose this game. And they haven't yet. And look, I know I've been kind of harder on Day than a lot of people since he won the national title.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that Day has not done, with the exception of losing to Michigan, is lose to teams that have less talent than him. He just doesn't lose those games.
Fair.
He'll lose to teams that have equal talent. In fact, I think he loses the majority of the games he plays against teams with equal talent. But if he's got more talent than you, he's gonna beat you unless you're Michigan. In which case, he probably still wins this year. So I thought the same thing last year.
Yep.
So Ohio State's so good along the offensive and defensive lines.
Is so talented. You mean, right?
Yeah.
The talent that they've stacked
is really. I mean, I think they're the best. I thought this last year too. They were the most talented team in college football, and I think that's true again this year.
Do they beat the Saints?
We won't know how good they really are, like truly are, until they play Indiana.
Yep.
Indiana's got the best win in college football this year. They beat Oregon at Oregon.
Absolutely. So unless they stumble at Penn State, I mean, they're going to be undefeated going into that Big Ten championship.
Yeah, if they stumble at Penn State, then that answers questions of its own, right?
Yeah, but I just don't see that happening the way they've been performing.
Yes, they've been just outstanding.
Yep. And Ohio State, I think, that game at Michigan kind of looms large, but
yes.
What's going to happen is, I don't expect them to lose, but I wouldn't be shocked if they lose that game at Michigan. So if they lose that game,
given the way Michigan has not moved the ball on offense this year, I'd be shocked.
Yeah,
like legitimately, the farther away they get from Harbaugh, the more shocked I'll be if they win.
But for the sake of argument, let's play this out. Let's say they drop that game at Michigan. I believe they still, I haven't looked at all the schedules, but I think that still puts Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game against Indiana.
Well, if Michigan wins out, it would not. It would put Michigan in the Big Ten championship game against Indiana, because Michigan only has one conference loss, and they'd have a tiebreaker at that point over Ohio State. And then the question becomes, would they have a tiebreaker win over Oregon if Oregon wins out?
Right. Their other loss was at Oklahoma. I was thinking they had lost 2, but they've only lost 1. So, yeah, we could have a real mess on our hands. Because
you got too many teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Says the SEC fan.
There's more teams in the Big Ten than there are the SEC. SEC's only got 6 teams. The Big Ten's got 18.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, let me check and see if Oregon and Michigan play today. They do not. So Oregon and Michigan could both win out and each have 1 loss. And I don't know what the tiebreaker would be between Ohio State, Oregon, and Michigan. I think Ohio State would be on the outside looking in because they would have lost to Michigan.
Well, congratulations, my friend. I thought I had a crazy scenario that I wanted to play out, and you've turned it on its head. Yours is this is even worse, because what I was thinking was, if Ohio State stumbles at Michigan, but then goes to the championship and beats Indiana, what do you do now, right? What does that mean? Do these teams still make it? But now we're talking about a real possibility. If Ohio State stumbles at Michigan, then they're not even in the championship game. Then it's Michigan and Indiana. I don't see Michigan winning that game. And you still have to. Ohio State still goes to the playoffs.
If Michigan wins out and they're 10-2 in the regular season, they're going to make the playoffs, right? And then Indiana would make the playoff by being undefeated and making the Big Ten championship game. And Ohio State would make the playoff by being 11-1, and Oregon would make the playoff by being 11-1. That's 4 teams from the Big Ten.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, we still have some stuff to go. I mean, what's the saying? They remember what you do in November.
Yeah.
And so we'll see, because college football is still pretty crazy. And look, did you look at the scores yesterday from the SEC?
I saw the and we've got a minute before the break, but we're gonna talk about this as soon as we get back. But I saw Texas beating Vanderbilt.
Okay, well, this is an aggregate question. There was only one game yesterday that wasn't within a touchdown.
Oh wow!
The SEC is becoming the NFL in terms of
parity. Yeah. I mean, and that makes sense because there's such a concentration of talent on all of these teams, right? So yeah, I had not noticed. Ole Miss ended up handling South Carolina pretty easily, but otherwise
they did because Lenore, like I said this at the beginning of the year, I said Lenore Sellers is going to get some GM and coach fired. I no longer think that's the case because he's just not going to get drafted.
Yeah. Wow, I hadn't realized. Yeah, so I think you're absolutely right. You're spot on. The parity in the SEC really is starting to show. There is no dominant team, but there are really, really good teams that show really, really well when they play outside the SEC. But hey, what I tell you about Mississippi State and Arkansas, we're going to talk about that after we finish talking about your Longhorns. But here comes a break. You're listening to the Sports Spotlight right here on Radio Azad with Rizwan and Shep.
This is Radio Azad, where your voice matters. Streaming in Dallas, Fort Worth, and all around the world.
आप सुन रहे हैं रेडियो आजाद हम सफर हमजाद रेडियो आजाद
Download the free Radio Azad app on the App Store or Google Play to listen worldwide.
Yo, foodies, ready to upgrade your taste game? Cavalli just dropped the ultimate flavor collab, Desi Classics, with a modern twist. From Dubai smash paratha to zingers to sizzling kebabs and desserts that hit the sweet spot. Every plate's a vibe. Big night, birthday, random Tuesday, Cavalli's got you covered. Food, mood, and music on point. Don't just eat. Experience the flavor drop at Cavalli. Got a date? Bring him. Got drama? Bring your squad. Host your event there or get their catering at your venue. They will take care of it all. Cavalli's where the food's hot, the service is cooler, and your stories get legendary. Located at 18111 Dallas Parkway, Dallas. More information at cavallidallas.com.
Health insurance open enrollment is here. Call Homera Jamani with HSJ Insurance for affordable health plans and excellent customer service. It's your chance to get health coverage for 2026. Call Homera Jamani with HSJ Insurance at 972-838-0313. That's 972-838-0313. Once again, 972-838-0313.
म्यूजिक वेव्स पेश करते हैं वंस अगेन कव्वाली टाइम। अपने वालिद अजीज मियां कव्वाल की विरासत को आगे बढ़ाते हुए इमरान अजीज मियां कव्वाल ला रहे हैं वही जज्बा, जुनून और सूफी अंदाज जो दिलों को छू जाए। जुम्मा 7 नवंबर रात 8 बजे रूची पैलेस में। Tickets starting at $39 at Sulekha.com. For more info, call Azim Ahmad at 732-277-6687. Miss mat kijiye. Once again, Qawwali time with Imran Aziz Mia Qawwal live in concert.
Pat O'Reilly with the O'Reilly Home Team. People ask me, why do you keep saying this is the time to buy? This is the time to buy because you have a lot more inventory out there. You have a lot more choices. Sellers want to negotiate. Lenders are doing some incredible things to get deals done. We can help you get into a house probably for next to nothing out of your pocket. Give us a call. This is the time to look at it. This is the time to buy.
So pick up the phone and call 202-340-5450 to get one step closer to your dream home. For more information, visit O'ReillyHomeTeam.net or follow us on Facebook O'Reilly Home Team.
Radio Azad. कहलो जो कहना है, सुन लो जो सुनना है। कहलो जो कहना है, सुन लो जो सुनना है हमें आजाद तुम हो आजाद चलो दिल से दिल मिलाओ हाथ से हाथ कहो हम सफर हमजाद रेडियो आजाद रेडियो आजाद रेडियो आजाद
Are you dealing with legal issues related to immigration, wills, divorce, or car accidents? Let the experienced attorneys at Suleiman Amaidas Rezai Law Firm help you. Whether obtaining a visa or green card, creating a trust or will in accordance to your faith, a quick or difficult divorce, or being compensated for a car accident, call us today to schedule a consultation at 469-242-2922.
Welcome to Trends and Threads, your online trunk show destination for contemporary Indian and Pakistani fashion. From the latest cuts to luxe fabrics, from bold party wear to timeless formal styles, every piece is crafted for the modern muse who loves her roots but walks her own runway. Trends and Threads, flowing silhouettes, and vibrant colors are perfect for weddings, festivities, and everything in between. We take custom orders too. Visit us at our pop-up location at Princess Salon in Grapevine or online at Instagram, Trends and Threads by Hamida, or on Facebook to see what's trending now. Call Hamida at 817-793-4688 for more information.
Your car deserves the ultimate care, and that's exactly what you'll get at Ultimate Car Care. From brakes and oil changes to alignments, engine, suspension, steering, and radiators, their professional and friendly team gets your vehicle running at its best. Enjoy free towing and diagnosis within 10 miles with repairs because car care should be hassle-free. They service both foreign and domestic vehicles, so whatever you drive, they've got you covered. Visit them at 5904 Crestwood Place, Little Elm, or call 469-803-5885. Learn more at ultimate-car.com. Ultimate Car Care. Get back on the road with confidence.
Want to listen to your favorite station? Download the Radio Azad app today, available for iPhones and Android.
Into the clear blue. Touchdown.
Well. Ashton Genty into the clear blue and a long touchdown. Hey, those long touchdowns for Ashton Genty have been few and far between. Had that one great game for the Raiders. Outside of that, he's been kind of bottled up. Is that indicative of Ashton, or that is the Raiders? All right, sorry about that. There was a equipment malfunction.
I was answering your question. I said I think the Raiders are a very bad football team. To the point where I'm starting Lawrence against them as opposed to going with my boy. What's his name? Bo Nix. Playing Houston.
Well, Houston's defense is nasty, man.
Houston's defense is pretty salty against quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I'm starting Trevor Lawrence over Bo Nix.
That's definitely a bold move for sure.
We'll see how that works out for me.
Yeah. Man, let's talk about that.
When we talk about the World Series.
Yes. Okay. So hey, does anyone outside of the greater Los Angeles area actually like the Raiders?
Well, I'm sure people in Las Vegas like the Raiders. I don't know a lot of people in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. They won. They bought the series. I was so pulling for the Blue Jays. I mean, I have no dog in the fight, but man, I did not want them.
I'm still a little salty about the Joe Carter Blue Jays beating the Braves back in the 90s, but I guess it's time to let that go.
It's been a few years.
The Dodgers, but man, if they don't win the title, then their entire coaching staff should be fired.
Agreed.
They just have they've spent in a way that indicates they should always win. It's like the Yankees in the late 90s. They just spent so much more money than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean they've got MVPs batting 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, also I think Hugh Freeze may have been fired.
Like You think result of the game he should, or like you something just came out?
Okay, a few minutes ago.
Wouldn't be shocking. Would not be shocking at all. So yeah, they won. It was actually closer than anyone would have thought, and really, I feel that it should have been. But I guess that's just indicative of the sport of baseball. I think a team getting hot at the right time can overcome a talent gap in baseball uniquely.
Over a limited series, 7 games opposed to the whole season.
Yeah,
that can happen.
Yep. And that's what caused it to be as close as it was. Look, it went to Game 7. It went to extra innings in Game 7, right? So I didn't think Toronto Blue Jays had any right to be that close to winning this series over the talent that the Dodgers have. And as I said, it's just a. I mentioned Ron Washington at the top of the hour, but I'll say it again. That's why Ron Washington said, "That's how baseball go." That's why the Rangers won that World Series 2 years ago, right? They were the best team for 90% of the season. They got hot in September, carried it forward, and just kept on keeping on, just surprisingly. And the Blue Jays almost pulled off what I think would have been one of the bigger, maybe not the biggest, but one of the bigger upsets in the history of the World Series.
Upset. Even though the Blue Jays technically had a better record. Remember, they were 94-68, and the Dodgers were 93-69. So yes, technically, during the regular season, the Blue Jays had a better record.
Yeah, but it's as you were saying about Ohio State, right? You look at the Dodgers, and you're like, my God, they should win every game by 8 runs. It's insane what they have allowed. But hey, I don't blame the Dodgers ownership. I don't even blame the league, because what incentive or what disincentive do they have to not allow this? Because tickets are at an all-time high. TV deals are at an all-time high. They're raking in billions. Why should they change if they're going to let one team just buy championships like this?
It's the opposite of the NFL, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the year starts and you've got, it used to be, there were a handful, like 4 to 5 teams every season that had any realistic chance of thinking their team would win the World Series. Now it's 2, maybe 1, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you get there, you can win it, right?
Yeah. But like when the year starts, is anyone else, without being delusional, thinking they have a legitimate shot outside?
The phrase in the betting circles is it the Dodgers or the field?
Yeah.
Right? And the answer is probably the Dodgers.
Yep.
And, I mean, barring injuries, yada, yada, all that stuff. And that's the only reason why you would take the field.
Absolutely. So to me, that's ruining the game. But hey, they're looking at it. It's a numbers game, and if they're getting record ticket sales, record butts in seats, and record eyes on TV, what disincentive do they have to change things?
It's the same thing about my complaint about college football at large. Is I think they've really done a lot of things to lessen quality of the sport, but the numbers are better than ever. So obviously, maybe the minority. But I guess we can use that to pivot back. Congratulations, Dodgers fans!
Yeah.
Enjoy your soulless victory.
I mean, it was painful. All right, let's get back to college though. The real sport, Mississippi State. We got to talk about this. Hey, I don't want to toot my own horn.
Against Texas last week to come back after being down 14 against a pretty good offense that was cooking yesterday. I mean, look, Arkansas has moved the ball against everybody.
They have been.
Our quarterback got hurt. The backup scores 2 out of 3 possessions. Chapin comes back in after Mario Taylor did admirable backup work.
Sweet.
And we come back and we win the game. And we won the game because Arkansas is a bad team that's poorly disciplined, because they got almost 200 yards in penalties, 8 of which were personal fouls, all of which was deserved, which is incredible. And
Yeah.
we even had a running into the kicker, which gave us an extra shot at a field goal in a game that we won by 3.
Yep. I mean, I was shocked. I was surprised. Being down, going down with that touchdown at the beginning of the fourth, right? 35-21. I thought we were done. We were cooked.
Oh, I did too. I thought we weren't going to stop Arkansas again because Petrino will not stop scoring.
Yep. And the defense showed up. The offense showed up. Ferry making that 46-yard field goal. I mean, Mississippi State has never had, what was his name? The guy we had back in the mid-10s, 13, 14, 15, is the only biggish leg that we've had.
He was good, but he's not as good as Ferry.
Yeah, but otherwise, I can't remember in my lifetime where I think anything less than a 30 to 35-yard field goal is something that I can just take for granted from Mississippi State.
Gotten a lot better.
Yeah, they have. Well, I mean, the pros are kicking 70-yard field goals now, so yeah, they've definitely, we're probably going to find out 5 years from now that somebody had come up with a designer leg juice, right? Something that just helps the kickers. Who knows? But yeah, what's happening with the kickers across the field, college as well as the pros, is just insane. I mean, for 80 years, nobody was able to do stuff that all of a sudden in the last 3-4 years they've been able to do. And it's not just new guys coming up, right? It's guys who'd been around for a while whose range might have been 55 yards. Now their range is 65 yards.
In the NFL this year, they're allowing the kickers to basically swoop with the ball all week and use their ball. They've been doctoring all week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there have been a couple of good athletic articles about it. So it may be on the margins. But
so maybe it's not going to be a designer drug. We're going to find out that they were juicing the ball for the kickers, maybe.
Not necessarily juicing them, but allowing them to maybe show them more love than they have.
Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, regardless, Ferry makes that 46-yarder that pulls us within 4, and then we hold them again, get the ball back, and score. Just end of game, 2-minute drive, 10 plays, 69-yard, just everything that you want.
Where we ran a go route down the field, and Brandon Thompson slid to catch it as it was a little bit underthrown. Amazing catch. And then we go down, we get a 4th down play, and Evans breaks the tackle and just runs in the end zone. And he runs over another DB in the process.
Yep.
Amazing.
So
I'll take it. We needed that victory like a fat kid needs cake. I mean, we needed that.
We did, and we got it. And again, I was going to say not to toot my own horn, but I guess I am. Called it. I said that was the game. I felt good about this at Arkansas. Now, would I have put money on it? Absolutely not.
I would never put money on 18 to 25-year-old males.
Yep, that's how little we haven't even talked about the grown men who've been put money on basketball games, right? That's a whole.
Let's table that for right now.
Absolutely. Okay, so great win for the Bulldogs. Let's talk about those Longhorns. I didn't see that coming. The Longhorns end up beating Vanderbilt, and the way Vandy had been playing, the fact that the Longhorns defense showed up, you've talked about their defense is salty, but then lately they had been not showing up. They showed up maybe until the fourth quarter,
which is the opposite of last week.
Exactly. Dominated this game, looked like it was going to be a laugher, and then yes, Vandy did put together 3 touchdowns in the fourth. Their quarterback Pavia ended up out throwing Arch Manning 365 yards, largely buoyed by that fourth quarter, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've talked about Sark leaving points in the field.
Mm-hmm.
If Texas can't run the ball, when you got a 3-touchdown lead, you still got to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
If you can't move the ball running it, all you're doing is wasting a couple minutes before you give the ball back to the other team.
Yeah.
You got to keep throwing the ball. I know the stats say you run it to bleed the clock, but if you can't run, which by the way, Texas cannot run the ball. They just can't. They certainly can't run the ball if the other team knows they're going to run the ball.
Yeah. No, for sure. They put themselves on the precipice of losing this game after having such a huge lead. I mean,
but all they had to do was get that onside kick, and they did.
Yeah,
that's a high percentage shot of them. But I agree, it was closer than it should have been.
Exactly, that's what it comes down to, and that's we've been so focused on Sark's team leaving points on the field. I think it's a little bit more than that, and you kind of nailed it there. It's when you start playing not to lose. If you know that's not your strength, and that's what, as much as I hate Bill Belichick for everything that he and the Patriots did to the Bills for 20 years, right? He always knew, and he had different teams with disparate talent across those 20 years, but he always knew what the strength was, and he would go for that in that situation. He wouldn't just say, well, convention says I run 3 times.
And that aggression paid off a lot.
Yep. I think this was a coaching mistake that really, and look, yes, the onside kick is a high percentage play, a low percentage play for the team attempting to recover it. But man, if they recover it there, does anyone think?
I would have bet money that, hypothetical money, that Vandy would have won the game.
Right?
Just like, so yesterday I was convinced Arkansas was going to come back and win after we went ahead with 50 seconds left.
Yeah.
But then our coordinator moved Scilla, number 8, to start rushing as opposed to being a spy, and all of a sudden we started getting a lot of pressure. I wish we'd done that all game.
Hopefully they learn and they do that moving forward.
Yeah.
So my point with Sark is, it's not just that he's lackluster on offense. It's not just that he, for whatever reason, hasn't accumulated the talent. It's overall game management. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He will. It's almost like, he hasn't lost as many games as he should, but that's probably that has a lot more to do with the talent that he has on the team than his coaching acumen or decisions within the game. Which means it's gonna bite you, even if if that's the case. The boosters, the athletic director, the AD,
of over the top payments as opposed to under the table payments, right?
Yeah.
Booster can say, "Hey, I paid you X amount of money to put this roster together. You're not making it. You're fired."
Yeah. I think they have to start looking at it, because you see, and it's not just one or two, it's not even a handful. You see so many coaches doing more with less. When you've got Sark doing less with more, that's a problem.
So if you spread the talent around, right, you find out who the really good X's and O's coaches are, and the ones who can build the best locker rooms.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to just having more talent than everybody else, right? Because traditionally in college football, that's the best avenue to win, is to get more talent than everybody else. And look, that's one of the. I still have that beef with Ryan Day, because I don't think he's beaten a team in the playoffs yet that has the same amount of talent he does.
Yep.
But I also have that beef to some degree. I mean, Kirby Smart beat a team that had as much talent as him in Ohio State a couple years ago. But outside of that, he's had more talent than everybody else he's played. So he's got that one victory to hang his hat on about equal talent with Ohio State. But we're going to see as the talent gets distributed more, who the truly good X's and O's and roster management, not just talent acquisition coaches are.
Yep.
And it'll add some parity to the sport as people spin. There's more uncertainty and all that stuff. But yeah, Texas, to answer your question, they won because they're a better team. They got more talent. They had a good game plan. You got to give Sark credit for that. Like, they came out and they got Manning comfortable. And by the way, when he has time to throw, he looks like a real quarterback.
He does.
So maybe let's not bury the kid yet. But they got to fix the offensive line so they can run and pass protect against teams that have better defensive line than Vandy does. I'm super curious about that Georgia-Texas game in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see. Georgia's got to get out of Starkville next week first, which I think they will.
I mean, it would be bedlam if we can pull that off. But
I'll be honest. If State wins that game, that's a real dark mark against Kirby Smart.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it would be not just from the Bulldog point of view, but it would be like that 6-3 game for years to come if we can beat this Georgia team with this Bulldog team.
I mean, it would be it would be close to it. I mean, this Georgia team isn't on the heel of 28 straight league victories like that Bear Bryant team was. Speaking of hoarding talent,
yes, but our team was a little bit more talented than this team is.
Oh yeah, and we got some real roster holes.
Yeah,
specifically the injuries in the offensive line
and the defensive
line issues. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good talk. But look, I was ecstatic. Yes, I called it. My confidence level was less than 50%. I was hoping. I thought they had a chance, but as I said,
well, our phrase is my phrase for our team this year is we have a puncher's chance because of our ability to make explosive plays.
Yeah. And in college football, I think that's what it is. If you can, if your offense can play fairly well in crunch time, that Longhorns game notwithstanding, I think you've got a puncher's chance. Absolutely. All right. Before we move to the next game, real quick, got to tell our listeners about a fundraising gala going on November 16th at 5 p.m. for 25 years. Man, I don't want to try to pronounce this acronym. Sindh Institute of Urology and Transplantation North America, yes, SIUTNA, has stood by the mission that healthcare is a right, not a privilege. They have raised about $25 million so that SIUT can treat patients free of charge and without discrimination. The SIUTNA Dallas chapter is launching its first ever gala, The Journey of Resilience and Hope. It's going to be Sunday, November 16th at 5 p.m. at the Omni Las Colinas in Irving, right down the street from our studio here. Guest speaker will be Dr. Filza Hussain, and entertainment would be Sajal Ali and Farid Ayaz, as well as Abu Muhammad Qawwal group. So it's going to be some classic folk Qawwali singing. Get your tickets at siutna.kindful.com. Support the mission, save lives, and make history. All right. Making history. What did you make of this Oklahoma-Tennessee game yesterday?
That was the game I watched after my heart rate calmed down at the end of the season. And Tennessee found...
I thought Tennessee was going to run away with this.
So Tennessee both found a way to lose a game they should have won, and Oklahoma found a way to win a game they should have lost. So the strip sack, or the sack fumble return for a touchdown was an amazing play. The way that defensive end for Oklahoma picked the ball up and then held off the tight end for 30 yards and then finished the play and scored a touchdown while limping in the end zone. Mm-hmm. Great play, right? And then Aguiar threw some really boneheaded interceptions. Okay? I mean, he really did. And Oklahoma did just enough against a relatively mediocre Tennessee offense to win the game. So both of those teams
didn't deserve what happened.
The playoff, we're going to lose in the first round.
Yeah, it was surprising, man. I thought Tennessee was going to run away with this game, win by not destroy them, but win by a couple of touchdowns. I thought I would see a 38-27 game, something like that. So this was pretty surprising. And I mean, yeah, you're right. If Oklahoma can run the table from here, with 2 losses.
Yeah,
they're in the
but
playoffs.
running the table means beating Alabama and beating Missouri.
Yeah, probably not happening on either count. I mean, they probably will beat LSU, but that's a whole different story. Yeah.
Yeah. I left LSU off because of the obvious with them.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, let's talk about your guy. No, not your guy. Hugh Freeze and Auburn. Is this the lowest we've seen this once proud program?
This is certainly the worst they've been since 2012, which is when they fired Gene Chizik. And I would argue, given the resources they've dumped in this program, look, I'm seeing some things on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, that indicate some of the sports writer insiders have heard things saying that Freeze has been fired today.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't said it. It's one of those things I hate when journalists do. They're tweeting GIFs or GIFs, however you want to pronounce it, and indicating that yes, Hugh Freeze is done. But there has been no official announcement yet from Auburn. And he's got to go. I mean, look, one, you made a mistake hiring him to begin with, Auburn, because somebody like that should never have gotten a major job again. I'm not going to go into it. Everybody knows the sordid details of the man, but I'm experiencing some Schadenfreude when he gets fired today. I'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
But 2,
could not happen to a worse person,
right? When he couldn't cheat. Okay, and now that everybody can pay, he can't, go get that receiver out of Chicago that all the Big Ten powers want to go to an Ole Miss team that hadn't been above 500 in conference in a couple years, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can't go beat out the number one. He can't beat out Georgia and Florida and Clemson for the number one defensive end in the nation in that Kendichi fella. He can't beat out Alabama for the number one safety in the nation without cheating, right?
Yep.
And so when all of a sudden other people can pay for players too, Hugh Freeze isn't nearly as good a coach, is he?
Yep.
So, Auburn, congratulations, you're joining an epic coaching search season.
It could be a
get for banning the cowbells back in the 70s.
They definitely deserve it. So look, I mean, you mentioned that. I think that coaching search season could be its own reality show. It's going to be that.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm here for the drama on it.
Absolutely. All
Unless
right.
somehow someone takes off Levy, in which case, then I'll be sad.
Yeah. So just in case anybody has been on Mars for the last 24 hours, we didn't really mention the score. We just talked about the results and the resulting fallout, but it was 10-3. Kentucky beats.
In a putrid game. Like the Sickos Committee, the group of guys that talk about horrible games, it was a winless in the SEC Kentucky team against a one-win in the SEC Auburn team. And Kentucky won at Auburn, which is actually a really hard place to play, especially at night. 10-3 in a ugly, ugly game of. This is not good defense, folks.
Yes,
not good
it was a no, you take it, no, you take it.
This is putrid. I'm afraid of scoring points offense, and I'm glad to see. And look, maybe making some assumptions here. In which case, I'll own it next Sunday. But I'm certain that John Cohen, who is also not on my Christmas card list, is going to have to fire Hugh Freeze and endure a coaching search.
Yep. All right. Well, we're a minute past our last break time, so let's take a quick break and then swivel the spotlight over to the professional circuit. Let's talk the game coming up today at 3 p.m. I'm going to be glued to it while I'm hosting 2 different things. I don't know how I'm going to do this,
but you're going to watch that.
It's a terrible time to have this game of this magnitude. Yes, we're talking the Bills, we're talking the Chiefs, and we're talking about that right after this break. You're listening to the Sports Spotlight with Rizwan and Shep.
Jefferson gets away from one. Superhuman